Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So Donald Trump just finished his recent rally in Georgia. In Georgia, Donald Trump rallied in this county, Cobb County, where Kamala Harris won by 15% of the vote. And this is one of the rare counties where Kamala Harris actually improved the margin of Joe Biden back in 2020. And obviously, Donald Trump is trying to whittle down the margin here in Cobb County so that statewide Republicans like Rick Jackson and Mike Collins can really be competitive in these states that Republicans lost a lot of ground in. So this, in theory, is a good thing, but for a good thing for the Republican Party at large because they're trying to defend the governorship race and trying to flip the Senate seat. But Donald Trump has a minus 21 approval rating. He is underwater by 21 points. Now, obviously, 21 points, if you shift the map by 21 points, Kamala Harris wins easily. She wins all the battleground states, Texas, Florida, and a lot of other states like Indiana. But that's not really in the realm of possibility. But you know what is? Georgia itself. These voters, Trump won Georgia by 2.2%. Joe Biden famously flipped the state of Georgia back in 2020, which was 6 years ago. And now Trump, similar back in 2020, is facing this incredible opposition. And now we're in a midterm cycle where the environment is so hostile to the Republican Party at large, where it is so unbelievable, where the Democratic Party, just in the state of Georgia, Jon Ossoff was running unopposed. This is the primary ballot, where Keisha Lance Bottoms was supposed to be a tight race, but in reality, it just went closer and closer to her column. When these Democrats just kept endorsing her, she had the entire momentum. But the state of Georgia is an open primary state, and you can see that the independent vote is 29% of the electorate in the primary ballot season. And so you can clearly see that these voters obviously are energized to vote, and they're most likely voting in the Democratic primary. We saw this in Texas, where James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett were breaking the record for the most Democratic votes in a primary in the state of Texas. So you can really see the energy here, and it's behind the Democratic Party, especially when you can see right here in this chart where the Democrats are trouncing the Republicans in total vote share. It's the same with Texas as well. The primary between Crockett and Tallarico, they had finally, in a very long time, crossed the Republican total vote share in that primary. And so you can see that the Democrats are clearly motivated, and they want to vote to set a check on the Trump administration all across the country. This is a case where you can add to that. And already, Keisha Lance Bottoms is leading by 2.4%, and Jon Ossoff is leading by 6.2%. And with Donald Trump's introduction into this race, and when he has a minus 21% disapproval, he really can't be in a swing state at all. This is a disaster. If Trump was really smart, he would be in these states where the midterm fight is almost certainly going to be held. These states like Ohio, Texas, Iowa, Nebraska, Montana, all these states, South Carolina, so where he can hold the Democratic wave as much as possible, hold the damage, and potentially keep control of the Senate. But even that's not guaranteed because Trump is underwater in those states as well. There's not really any safe haven, not even in these double-digit states where Trump won by 14. Not even Texas is safe. Texas is in a tight race between Ken Paxton and James Tallarico, but Trump's involvement in that race it potentially would hurt Paxton as well, because Trump is also underwater in the state, and Ken Paxton is also not very liked in that state as well. But this is the last time a statewide election happened in Georgia. This was the 2025 election cycle. This is a statewide election, and these were the polls and what they were saying that voters really cared about. The economy and cost of living, 36%. Abortion and reproductive rights, around 27%. This is a strong Democratic issue. Crime and safety, 18%. Education and parental involvement, 10%. And healthcare access, another key Democratic issue that voters are going to be coming in droves voting for. That the big beautiful bill cut their healthcare access. Now, obviously, 2025 and 2026, I believe, is going to be a drastically different environment from those two respective years. Yes, we had a government shutdown. We might have a government shutdown again. But the cost of living has really not gotten any better and really has gotten worse. If I scroll up here, household electricity prices have spiked 18% since Trump took office. 378 energy projects representing 65 billion investments have been canceled or stalled. This raising energy prices along with the AI issue. The AI issue is something that all voters care about, really. They don't want their house being noisy. They want their energy costs low. And this is probably going to be a key issue in 2028. I believe whoever takes the correct side on this issue should have a significant lead in the 2028 election. But the economy and cost of living, 36%. I just showed you that 18 household costs, electricity costs are up 18%. And you can start to see the case that the Democrats can easily make. Abortion and reproductive rights. Trump is the guy that appointed 3 Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court, and they overturned Roe v. Wade. Education and parental control and parental involvement. Donald Trump cut the Department of Education, leading to special needs kids services being underfunded, and kids not getting the proper education that they need. Healthcare access. This is another issue here. Donald Trump cut 15 million people off of healthcare by the big beautiful bill. Now, Trump's presence in this race is going to hurt the Republicans' chances of winning the governorship and the Senate seat. Now, already the Senate seat was looking pretty unlikely for Mike Collins. But now, since Trump is doing this voter fraud, talking about voter fraud back in 2020, where Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won their respective Senate seats back in 2020, now it's bringing a lot of unnecessary attention to this specific Senate race, where Jon Ossoff won in the year 2020, and Trump is declaring fraud, and where Trump was asking for 11,780 votes. And so now Jon Ossoff can really say this message that Trump wants me out. He wants my Senate seat revoked. He thinks I'm not a legitimate senator, and that's why you need to vote for me to set a check on this administration. And not to mention his what I said, that the cost of living is up, and his overall message on corruption and accountability. So basically, Trump going in these states, he should not be in these states. And he should really be focusing on these states, Texas, Iowa, Ohio, Florida. But he's not really liked in those states as well. So what do you do if you're Trump?